Hey, what's up YouTube? Scott here, 5150 Photogs with another quick Photoshop editing tutorial. Today it's going to be really basic. We're going to show you how to swap someone's head so that it appears as though they're looking at the camera just like everyone else when the shot was taken. Perfect example. These are my two sons with my niece and nephew at the Toronto Zoo. We took this at Easter weekend this year, and you can see in this first photo that three of the four of them are looking at the camera, but my eldest son is actually looking off to the distance. And if I look at the other comparable photo, I still have three of the four of them looking at the camera, but now this guy is not looking at the camera and this guy is. So what I want to do is I want to take the best of these two shots and combine them together. So the first thing I do in Lightroom is I'd make my basic edits. And you make the edits on the base photo. This would be the photo that the majority of the image is what you want to use. And then what you want to do is you'll select the second photo and you'll hit previous, and that will copy over all of the changes that you made, because these photos were taken seconds apart. You can see one is 32:51 and the other one is 32:57. So there's only 6 photos in between these two. Once that's done, you've copied your settings, because again you want to make sure your edits of the person's face that you're going to be copying looks like the rest of the edited image that you're going to be using. So what you're going to do is you're going to select both these images. You're going to tell it to edit in, and you're going to open in Adobe Photoshop. You can do this in Photoshop, you can do this in Photoshop CC, just about any level of Photoshop will work for this purpose. So what I'm looking at now is this is the photo that I want to use my one son's head from, and this is my base photo. This is the one that I'd like to keep, and so all I'm going to do is I'm going to select my photo that I want his head from, and I'm going to hit Command A, and I'm going to hit Command C to copy. I'm going to come back over to the main photo, and I'm going to hit Command V, and this will paste the photo on top. So now you can put, you can name whatever you want. So I'm going to call it Sun, and the reason I'm calling it that is so that I know that this layer is the one where he's looking at the camera versus the other layer where he is not. So what I want to do is I'm going to lower the opacity on this layer down. Doesn't have to be a lot, it just has to be enough so that you can kind of see the subtleties between the two layers. And I'm going to zoom in on the part of the photo that I actually want to do my work on. I'm going to select the move tool, and I'm going to move this layer until the head and the eyes line up. Because really what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make the illusion that his eyes were looking at the camera and not looking off to the side. This would only work in subtle cases where there isn't a drastic head movement. My eldest son, it's his worst habit. He seems to always want to look the opposite way the second that the camera comes out. So then I'm going to take my rectangular marquee tool. I'm going to select the area that I want to keep. I'm going to hit Command-Shift-I to invert the selection, and I'm going to hit Command-X to delete it. Now you can see here that there's a bit of a difference in color and focus, in the angle of the two shots. That's just camera movement. So what you can do is you can bring the opacity back up again, and if you just wanted to leave it like that, you could, but it would look like a horrible Photoshop job. So what we're going to do is we're going to select our eraser tool. We're going to select a soft brush. Don't worry about the opacity. You can leave it at 100% for now, because really what we want is we want that bottom layer, because that's where the lines are going to be very similar. They're going to be the same. And what you want to do is you want to erase as much of the other layer as possible. Now my son here, he has some crazy hair, so if I go over it like that, it's not going to make a huge difference, because I don't know what was going on. I think he was wearing a hat or something and we took it off for the photo. But anyways, once you're done that, you can erase everything there. You can close off the bottom layer just to make sure that you catch all these little sections here that you really don't need. And we come back over like that, and we'll just back out on the photo. And now you can see that we've taken my son looking the other way and had him look at the camera. And again, his edit is exactly the same as it was on the other photo. The photo has consistency. Everyone's looking at the camera, and we have a decent photo to remember the weekend or the day by. So as usual, give me a like if you find this helpful. Subscribe to my channel on YouTube, and we'll see you soon with another tutorial.